everybody, and welcome to another edition of Poland Daily Travel, this time from Milanowek. I know those garden suburbs just to the west of Warsaw. And here you'll see this house is called the Villa Józefina. And you see it's in a dilapidated state. But this is one of the sort of 20 to 30 buildings that are on the National Historic Register. Let me tell you a little bit about it. It was built by the architect Wilhelm Anders, Wilhelm Anders, in 1905, and was inspired by villas of the French Riviera. I didn't know that, just to look at it. Maybe you did. It was purchased by a guy called Joseph Wilson in 1919, which is a curious combination of names. And since then, in Poland anyway, it was owned by various other owners until it was the base of the Central Experimental Silk Station in 1924. Now, initiated the purchase of silkworm cocoons and their processing on the looms. That's when it was owned by these two brothers, Witacek. So there you go. It has an interesting history. Nice dome, sort of squeezed onion dome. Interesting idea. I don't know why you needed that. You see it over on the left. It seems like it would be pretty claustrophobic to go up into that. And I don't know what you'd see. All these trees look pretty old to me. I don't know, maybe they look 150 years old anyway. And then move across the street. It's called Literacki Street, and there must be a reason. Well, a lot of artists and writers, sculptors, painters, came and lived in this village to get out, have some peace and quiet outside of Warsaw. So that's how these garden suburbs grew up. This one really in the at the end of the 1890s, I'd say. So a bit older than Podkowa-Leszne and a bit bigger. Podkowa-Leszne was really purpose-built as a garden suburb in the 1920s and 30s. And this place was more established and much more Victorian and a lot of mixed styles, I suppose. I'm no architect expert, but you can see for yourself. Let's move on because there's a couple of other interesting stories. Well, we drove around to the edge of town, to the edge of Milanowek, and we found this amazing old villa. I mean, you know, it's incredible. And another one back there that are, like so many of the other ones, are in total disrepair. One wonders why. Lack of money. And probably, I mean, these look like they haven't been touched and used in decades and decades. I mean, this is a kind of communist door on this side. They used to take a lot of these buildings and use them for orphanages or storage or all kinds of things, except for the original grand purpose they were created for. This is a really would have been splendid house out here surrounded in the forest. But it's hard to tell if it was any use even during World War II. Well, that's been, how long has it been? 70 years, hasn't it, since World War II? Plus. So, yeah, it has had plenty of time to fall into disrepair. It's amazing. This is where you would film your ghost story, your horror story. Come up with a good one, and this is the house for you. If it doesn't fall apart while you're walking about, this doesn't look very solid anymore. They've put in some kind of, the foundation looks cracked and, crazy. This happened to so many places under communism. I mean, not just here. I mean, it happened to places in the United States. Places get abandoned or the owners die. World War II, a lot of people died, and they still can't reclaim their or their families are trying to reclaim the property and they can't. I just got a spider web. And so you see a lot of that. Property unclaimed now that it's in the private sector. So it's been what, since the fall of since the Soviet Union was out of Poland or gave up control of Poland, since 1989. So just in that amount of time, if you don't pay attention to a building, it's going to fall apart. Yeah. Very interesting. Old houses are interesting, aren't they? Because you have this, they have this aura of the history of the people who lived there. And if you know something about the history, it helps, but you don't always need to. Anyway, to get a feeling. Whoever lived here had quite a grand lifestyle, there's no doubt about it. And that was Milanowek, you know, between the wars. Well, even at the end of the 19th century, when this place was being built, it's the height of imperialism. People were pretty optimistic until things fell apart with a little thing called World War I in 1914. Then after the war, Poland was reborn, and places like this were a central part. You know, this architectural creations were a central part of the interwar period. Really important part of the arts. It was a real expression of the mood of the time. So a building like this would have been greatly appreciated, and so would a town like Milanowek. So I suppose it's no real surprise that with all these buildings and rather remote locations and forests, that the Home Army would find places within these villas to store things, to have meetings, and whatsoever. Yeah, and hence the name of Milanowek, Little London, the headquarters of the Army Krajowa. Yeah, I don't know about you, but I find old houses fascinating, obviously. Okay, that's all we've got. Thanks for watching. I'm Will Richardson. I'm in Milanowek, just west of Warsaw. And please like us on Facebook, like us on YouTube. It's very important that you do that. All you have to do is search us on YouTube to find Poland Daily Travel, and you can find Poland Daily Travel by searching on Facebook. Thank you very much, or on the internet, the interweb, www. See you next time.